Well, good evening to all. It's a happy new year, and I want to welcome you to the first episode of Advancing the Cause for this brand new year 2023. Well, I know it's a brand new year. I know lots of us have made resolutions for the new year. Some people have planned to some people have planned that they're not going to do so. They're going to start off on a new footing. But whatever it is that you have planned for yourself, I trust that those goals and objectives are going to be achieved. Like everything else, we Happy New Year. But I am not sure what is happy about this year because many Guyanese citizens are suffering. The masses are suffering. And we're going to see later on what is happening in and so let me say good night to all of you who are watching us. I know you were waiting for us. We had 2 weeks, not vacation, but we had 2 weeks to put lots of stuff together. And so here we are again with you for more on advancing the cause. And like I say all the time, what we give you here is anything. We give you the truth. And so I'm going to start off by saying happy birthday and happy belated birthday to all those persons who would have celebrated birthdays during the last 2 weeks. I trust that God is going to continue to bless you and to continue to give you the strength and that sense of discernment that you need to go through a new year with new challenges and new expectations. God bless you there. And for those persons, of course, we have some persons who are grieving at this time. We want to extend our sincerest condolences to you and trust that you are going to find memories of your deceased loved ones. And then we got big things happening. So on our highlights for this evening, we're going to talk about, I'm going to share with you what the Auditor General said. He is warning Guyana of its external debt. And this is the former Auditor General. He's warning Guyana about its external debts. And, when we create all these debts, the people suffer, not the favorite few, not the one Guyana, the masses of the people suffer when you create all these debts because they have to now pay them or repay them with the taxes, all the taxes that you're going to impose on them and the high cost of living and everything else. The masses will have to repay that. So we need to watch that. And then we saw a policeman and a fisherman being shot at multiple times. I don't know what is happening here. And we have not seen or heard an official comment or release or whatever you want to call it coming from the Guyana Police Force. I know many times you hear, oh, they bring out big statements, but all of a sudden we're not hearing any statement from the Guyana Police Force, the hierarchy of the Guyana Police Force, to tell this nation about what has happened there. Or maybe investigations are on its way. Um, and so investigations are ongoing, and so they can't release anything at this time. But we'll wait to hear about that because I know the postmortem said the folks received multiple shots. And it leaves one to wonder why the police would want to shoot like that. But we shouldn't be wondering any longer because everything is possible under this corrupt PPP government. Anything is possible. So police shooting their colleague, police shooting innocent people, police standing and giving orders to break innocent people's home. We're going to talk about that in a couple. And you notice our topic for tonight talks about the 7-hour standoff between the residents of Mocha Arcadia, Cane View in particular, and the police as well as the officials from the Ministry of Housing, but we're going to come to that in just a while. And then we have fire gutting a house in Freedenoop there. I'm hoping that, those of us who are across there, that you can lend support to that family who would have lost their home by fire. And of course, millions of dollars went up there. But these are things that happen. And so let me caution you to watch take a look at what's happening in your homes. Make sure you check the switches here and check the switches here and turn off here and turn off there. And remember to look at your wiring, because, some of us might have had wirings in our homes for quite a long time. So we need to call in the electrician and do some checking there. And while all of that is happening, we're seeing the residents of Wakenham complaining about the poor water supply that they're having, that is flowing through their taps, and we saw the CEO, Mr. Bashk, Sheikh Bashk, talking about GWI now in a healthy financial position, but yet residents or citizens across this country are having difficulty receiving pure water, receiving clean water, receiving clear water. You always get some brown, dirty water coming through your taps. And this man is saying to us that they're now in a healthy financial position. So where are these monies going? Is it Sheikh spending the money out on himself? Sheikh passing it on to some other family? Where are these monies going? We must find out these things, because you can't tell us that you're in a healthy financial position and then people not receiving good supply of water cutting off. You got scheduled timing for water. What is happening? Sheikh, talk to us. Talk to us. We know that, with you, things are always messed up. You mess up housing, you mess up education. Now you're gone to water, you're messing water up. I don't know why they're moving you all over the place and you're just creating confusion. But tell us something about what's happening there, Sheikh. And then we saw over the weekend, the VP was at a forum, some forum at the Diamond Secondary School. And there again, big promises. He talking about education and free university. People, stay wise. Keep your eyes open. Don't fall for them dirty promises. But mind you, the man's smart, because the man said, I can't tell you when, but it's going to happen over the 5 years period, because we have it in our manifesto. Watch out for it in 2024 or early in 2025. If elections is later down in 2025, watch out for it early then if it didn't come late 2024. Don't fall for these kinds of foolishness, because these people feel that, we are foolish and people don't understand things, but we understand everything that they're doing. And they're going to come with a whole lot of props close to elections to get you to vote for them. But I'm hoping that you're marking what is happening. And if you notice behind on the screen there behind me, what you're seeing there, we're going to talk about it in a little while. Those are single mothers you're seeing there on the ground there on the road, sitting and lying down, just because they're standing up for what they believe in, just because they're standing up to say to this corrupt government, you're not going to break our homes down and pass it off just like that. You must compensate us for what you want for displacing us. And we're not going to allow it to go. But we'll talk more about that in a while. And then after Jagdeo go and talk the foolishness, we recognize that the Guyana police force in the limelight again, shooting in Maikoni there. And then you had, and those were regular police. Now we have the special branch, the unit there. We saw a special branch officer. He works under Mr. Watts, special branch officer. It is alleged that he put on a fine licking on a guy. He shot the guy in his left leg, and then he put on a fine licking on the guy, blows to his head and his face, causing the guy to have a broken jaw and losing a tooth. And of course, we get no comment from the police force. But I'm happy that the Guyanese critic, sometimes he's really crazy, but I'm happy that the Guyanese critic brought this out to light, or we would not have heard anything about this. This would have been swept under the carpet. Mr. Watts, tell us something about what's happening here. Let's have an investigation about what's happening there. Why is it that if this rank would have parked his car in front of this man's house and the man go out there to say, look, I notice you're blocking my entrance. Why are these people so big? Everybody get big and pompous with themselves and powerful that he could come out of his tinted car and start beating up the man and then fired a shot at him and that injured his leg. This is the time for us to stand up. This is the time for us to stand up. We cannot continue to take the kinds of foolishness that is being happening in our country. And so as a mother and as a woman I will stand with my fellow women. I will stand with men when injustices are being meted out to you, because this corrupt government must understand that we are not here by accident. We are born full-blown bred Guyanese, and that Guyanese doesn't belong to some of us. Guyana doesn't belong to some of us. Guyana belongs to all of us, every single one of us. So y'all try and do something about it. We had a special branch there with Orrin Boston, shooting of Orrin Boston in his bed. And then we had this special branch again with Quindon Bacchus. Now we got special branch now with Mr. Adams. What is really happening in this place? That you got the accidents, you got COVID, a whole lot of craziness happening in this country, and none of them in the government there can't put their hands on anything to tap it to see what's happening. Don't let's talk about education now. We'll talk about education later on. Don't let's talk about labor now. Let's talk about the injustices that is being meted out to our people. The Guyana police force is politicized highly, and it's corrupt. Many of them there are corrupt. And we cannot spare them at all. We are going to call them out. And I learned that the name of that officer is, I'm going to get it to you before the evening. Sherwin McClintosh, something like that is his name. Some Sherwin something is his name. But I'll get it before the night is out. But folks, we have got to understand what is happening in this country. This is not one Guyana. This is a Guyana that has been divided for an elite group. The 3 F's, like I usually tell you: the families, the friends, and the favorites. Now, we're going to bring on the screen, we're going to bring in our guest. She's going to tell you who she is. But if you look at the picture that we have in the background there, then you'll know exactly who I'm referring to. So we'll bring our guest in, and she is going to talk to us about what transpired yesterday in Cane View area, Mucka, Arcadia.
Hi, Miss Carlita.
You, my dear, and welcome to Advancing the Cause. Tell us who you are, and then we'll start our conversation.
Good evening. Thank you for having me on your show. My name
We
is
can't
Siobhan.
hear you.
Hello? Are you
All
hearing
right.
me now?
You might want to log out and then come back in. Yes. So we are going to have our guest in a short while. But I want you to know that yesterday we had a standoff, a 7-hour standoff with the Guyana Police Force, not so much the Guyana Police Force, to the greater part of it, but with the officials from the Ministry of Housing, who have been given specific instructions to break the homes of innocent, hardworking Guyanese people who live there in that part of Mucka, Arcadia, Cane View, that section of Cane View there. And the residents did not let up, because the residents are saying, we need to have discussions. You need to come and talk to us. You need to tell us how you are going to provide for us when you displace us. You're not just moving us from where we are and just leaving us like that. We are sensible people. You got to talk to us straight. So could we bring our guest in at this time? So good night to you, ma'am, and welcome to Advancing the Cause.
Good evening. My
We're
name
not
is
getting
Siobhan
you.
Eastman.
All right. We didn't get you at first, so could we get your name before you start?
Yes, my name is Siobhan Eastman. Thank you for having me on your show, Miss Carletta. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you. Fine.
Okay. I'm a resident of Caneview Avenue, 22 Caneview Avenue. Yesterday, first of all,
Tell us,
on
Chevon,
the
how long have you
22nd,
tell us how long you've been living there?
over 15 years we have been living
Over
there.
15
My
years
brother,
you've been there.
he occupied the land over close to 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
However, on the October 2021, Minister Kroll of Housing visit Caneview Avenue residents and tell us that the road is passing at the back where we live in, and the noise is going to affect the residents. So what they're going to do, they're going to relocate us. They're trying to get the areas, which when they found the areas is farmed and Erstelling, Third Bridge, Erstelling. However, it has business people there. It has people that sell beverages. It has seamstress. It has people that rears that rearing animals, um, etc.
Mm-hmm.
However, yesterday the police came. They wanted to pass where I am living, 22 Kingview, to go and break a next resident house by the name of Tony. He was not in the building at that time.
Mm-hmm.
However, he get a phone call that they're trying to get into his premises. They break the lock and they force entry into the property. They empty the place. Until now, some of the man furniture is still in the yard. They passed. The police said they're going to break the fence just for the IMAC to pass. They're going to ensure that they build back the fence. They're going to clean the concrete back, which they ensure. Hence, when the IMAC pass back, they clean it. They put back the fence up. The drag line went his way. An unidentified person from housing, they claim to be they're working at housing. We don't know his name, we don't know his who, but all these men that is there, they don't have a badge. We don't
Mm-hmm.
know is who all. We know they coming in a bus that has housing logo.
Okay.
The man that was driving the iMac, apparently he get instruction to come back to break my brother property. I stand out. I said my brother's not at home. He gone on a work. He's working in Essequibo. He's waiting on a 1 o'clock, the boat for 1 o'clock to come back home to continue looking his children. I informed the police that I let the police know that my brother is not home. They insist that they come. I go and I stand in front of my brother property. I say no to this. You will not break my brother property. They swing that iMac and they hit the bridge about 3 times. They broke the bridge and they start to destroy the concrete. The same concrete that the police tell them to clean, they destroy that concrete. Today they came back. It has Minister Kroll promised each and every one of us. It's about 7 of us is mining on Caneview Avenue. The Minister Kroll promised us that they would compensate us and they would give us farming land. Until now, persons are engaging them and they fail to do so. It has footage whereby they came and they broke Mr. Iman pig pen. The pig is all over right now. They broke the pig pen because they did not broke all of the pen because we go and we stand in the yard and we ask them not to do it. But they continue now. They went on the other side and they go to broke a next girl house. We get to front and we said, no, you can't. These people don't collect no money. The persons that collect the money, they already broke the house down. Mr. Kroll is not standing out to his promises. It's a lot of sweet lies. He came to View Avenue and he promised the resident and he's not standing out to his words. There is no farming land until now. Mr. Iman engaging these people many times. They don't have to call him to engage. He asks the CCO many times. These people don't pay. This is what we do for a living and they don't pay us for downtime. They're saying this is for, they're talking about transparency and government for all. And this is what they're doing to us. We're Guyanese. We are not from India. We are not from Grenada. We are Guyanese. We are citizens of Guyanese. And this is what Ali is encouraging. They call us squatters. We are occupying the land for over 30 years. Shonda Ellis, she is over 30 and she's working with the government and she born on that land. She born and grow right there. So how can they still call us squatters? All because we as African descent don't have sense, for land that passing where the road is. All of a sudden, this land, this piece of land has so much value because a road is passing there. This is injustice. And it must put to a stop.
So
Kroll is... Go ahead, sorry.
all right. So Siobhan, I just wanted you to say to our viewers, you met with Minister Kroll sometime, I think maybe last year. And that conversation was about relocating the residents who are living there.
The conversation that we have with Kroll is to inform us that the noise, due to the fact we live in here and the road is passing here, the noise and dust will affect us. He never tell us that the road is passing where we at.
Good. So we are hearing that Minister Kroll met that a road is going to be passing there. And yesterday we saw where that road is passing. It's passing way behind where you're living. Now the thing
Correct.
is, look how many people living up in front of public roads. People, you go up the East Bank, people are living in most areas, people are living on both sides of the public road. So I don't understand this thing about the noise and dust will affect you. So if the noise and dust will affect you, what happened to all the other people who are living close by to roads? I live at right where there's a major road, and they got traffic lights there. And every day and every night I hear those big container trucks passing, the noise when the police sirens passing, everybody passing. So why don't we move all these people who are living close to public roads? We should remove everybody then. Now we saw
Correct.
where that road is going to be built, and where the homes of the residents of Caneview is or are, where those homes are. We don't see those homes in any way affecting the construction of the road. We don't see that unless Minister Cole and the others, they're seeing something else. But we understand exactly what is happening there. The fact is, viewers, that this road here now will make the land around there highly commercial, highly valuable for commercial activities. And so if you notice what is happening there, the leader of the opposition, he went there to do his own bit of survey to see where this road is passing and how the residents who are living there, how their occupation there is affecting the construction of the road. We couldn't see any kind of obstruction there coming from where the residents are and where the road is going to be constructed. Operator, if you'll bring that clip a little down for us, I want to show the viewers where Siobhan is living, where Siobhan's house is, and let the viewers see for themselves whether Siobhan's house is in any way affecting what is happening there with the road. Now, the thing is going to be high cost. It's going to be a high cost. The land around there now is going to be commercialized, and we know what the corrupt PPP want to do. They want to give those lands to their friends, their families, and their favorites. So they're creating all sorts of confusion now, rooting out poor and ordinary Guyanese citizens who want to make a living for themselves, an honest living. They want to remove them, displace them, and then they don't care about what happens with them after that. We are saying the people there, it's not that they don't want to move, they can move, they're willing to move. But when you look at where Miss Eastman is living, Miss Eastman has already established herself there. And I'm going to get her to tell us a little about that. Miss Eastman, could you tell us what you do there at your residence?
Well, we rear, we rear ducks, and also we sell beverages for a living. We sell snacks for a living also.
Well,
We
I
also
was
have
told
fruit trees.
I was told yesterday that it is at your shop, your grocery store that you have there, is where the villagers would come to buy snacks for their children to send them to school.
Yes,
And
it's the
now,
main depot for Moko.
well, you see, Miss Chevon is saying that to us. Now, this is a single parent. And this government talk, they talk every day about one Guyana, and because we care and because we love, and this is what they're doing to a single mother who's got children. You know, yesterday I stood there and I saw Miss Eastman's daughter running home from school in tears because you know what? Somebody said to her that they're breaking down your home. How do we treat our little children? 7-year-old. This is where Miss Eastman lives. Now you see, the guy with the excavator came and he broke the bridge. And he damaged the entire concrete path that she did in front of her home there. This house here, according to the people who did the evaluation, Miss Eastman is saying to us that it costs some 13 point something million dollars.
Okay, let me
Now,
be accurate. Um, the evaluators they came in last year, 2020, 2021. They came, they value the property. They value the property at 12,850,000. However, the compensation they gave us 14 million in total, 14.3 in total. They draft it out. However, when we went back, we still engaging them. When we went back, we tell them, okay, we cannot collect this money because you know why? Since the budget passed, we living in crisis. We cannot accept the money because cost of living is gone too high. We cannot accept this money. We spoke to Mr. Aaron. We spoke to Mr. Charles, which was very nice to us. Mr. Charles said he would speak to the CEO. He would get back to us. Mr. Charles gave me a call about 3 weeks ago, and he said, "Come in with your mother." We had we had a conversation, a neutral conversation with Mr. Charles. He said, okay, he's going to give us the farming land. He's going to talk to CEO so he could compensate us better than that. Also, in the meanwhile, they're going to build the property at halfway and ensure that I could continue doing business. So we're going to just use that for storage. If you find anywhere in Mocha to rent it and they will pay the rent. On the 22nd of December, we had to go in and we spoke to Mr. Aaron and Miss Sukan, a blind a
mhm.
woman that cannot see. She is in office. She did a surgery and she never recover. However, she's still trying with the job. Sorry for that. Sorry to hear that. Um, we spoke to her when I started to tell Miss Sukan. I said, Miss Sukan, Mr. Sukan, this is it. You guys give us this total 14.3 last year. However, statistic is showing right now that inflation from last year is from 6.3 and this year it's 11.6. Look at our cost of living right now. It's put rounded to the nearest 10. It's half and half. Material costs is is it double or is triple? We don't have a contractor living in our house, in our home. The people that collect this money, they cushion it because of the fact they're contractors. Majority of them are contractors. They build back their own home. That's why they could receive that. That's why they could take that money and try with it. The government also had to come. People that claim that they're living there and they're happy, they're not happy because you know why? Some of them don't have light, some of them don't have water. Let us move away from that. Most of them are flooding out at Third Bridge. They're still asking housing for assistance, and we don't want to be in that. Mr. Kroll came and promised us, and we would ensure that it's not sweet lies. We would stand out and hold out that he fulfill his promises. Because if you value this property last year and this year we in crisis, it simply means the value of the property went sky high again. Come again, value the property. This is what the property worth. The 1 point something, that is not even transportation cost. That is you not even compensating us for transportation. That is just
Mhm.
what I don't even know. That is not even for our downtime because
Mhm.
when you
Mhm.
move me, when you move this family and put them at Great Diamond, where is now preparing, it's not a developed area. I am searching for somewhere in Mecca to continue to do my business. Until now, I haven't find it. We are engaging Mr. Kroll, write many notice, articles and articles in Stabrook and all the other news medias. We are not engaging. A lie again. That's a lie. We engage. I even went many times, to be accurate, about 3 times to see the CEO. I went to see the Minister Kroll. They never reply. They never reply. They chased me out the office, Mr.
Wow.
Aaron and Mr. Sukan, on the 22nd, because I'm telling them the property has more value this year. They don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to talk to people that have sense. They don't want to talk to people that went to school. They want to talk to the cane cutters that they relocate. We don't want your land. You're claiming that your land is for infrastructure. Okay, deal with us as if we are humans and if we are one.
So Chevon, we have you there saying to all our viewers who are watching here, we have almost 900 viewers, persons viewing this program, and they're hearing exactly what you were saying. Minister Cole spoke with you personally, and the noise and the dust that will affect you. Further to that, you had conversations about them wanting you to relocate. And you were saying you have no difficulty with that, but they must value you for who you are and not to feel that you are somebody who just come or because of the texture of your hair or the color of your skin that they can treat you that way or anyhow. And I'm saying this because of this fact. When we had the confusion in Monterey Post just the other day, the president of the country went out there and he compensated the persons who claimed to have lost, persons who did not lose anything. They were all compensated and they were compensated justly. Why is it that we cannot have the same kind of method being used in Mocha Arcadia, Duncan, View to be specific? Why is it that these folks cannot be treated that way? And you know, I'm so upset about this whole issue because the fact is, where this is happening, the majority of the people who are living there are Afro-Guyanese. And it seems to be a pattern with the PBPC that everywhere where you have the majority of Afro-Guyanese, and especially when they're presumed to be coalition supporters, you're going after them. And that is wickedness to the highest extent. That is nasty. I wondered yesterday, I asked several questions to the police officers who were there. When I got there yesterday after receiving the message, I went down there. I greeted the police officers very nicely, wished them a happy new year, even though I said to them, there's nothing happy about this new year because it's the third day of January, and this is what is happening to residents here. It's not happy. I asked, what was the issue? Can we sit? Can we talk about it? They informed me that it's not them, it's the Ministry of Housing. I further asked, what can you do to influence housing? They said, well, look, the housing guys who went there from housing. And that is why, let me say to you viewers, that the residents took a stand against them yesterday. You know, quite a lot of people would go around the place to say, oh, the people were bullies and they were hooligans, and they were holding the people they were holding them hostage. But we had to hold them hostage. We had to let them talk to us. You don't come and break people's place and feel you could walk away. And you know what happened? When they were giving the instructions yesterday, Mr. Aaron and a whole lot of them, when they were giving the operator the instructions, and then they recognized that more residents were coming out, they attempted to jump in their bus and drive away. And so we had to stand our grounds there. You see the leader of the opposition coming to engage them, and they hardly wanted to say anything to
Miss
him.
Scarlett, let me
Go ahead, Siobhan. Go ahead, Siobhan. I think we might be having some little issues with internet there. But yes, this was the leader of the opposition was trying to engage them. I tried to engage them and they said we have an issue. Yes, Siobhan, you can go ahead.
Yes, and the police came yesterday and he told me he came to demolish the place. I said, break it down to the lowest term because I'm a dunce. I can't understand what you're saying. They came to break down. I said, which place? You cannot come to break down this property because we haven't collect housing money. We haven't collect no money from the government. We haven't go to Citizen Bank to collect no money for this property. So we haven't get no land for our no farming land for our pigs at the back there. So how can you come to break this property? He said, oh ma'am, all we want you to do is stand aside and allow the people. I said, no, they cannot break the place. They cannot break this place, officer. You need to get the information right from Minister Crowell and then come out and do your job. Because if you go to do your job, you need to do it to the best of your ability. You need to get the facts right. You can't just come and watch people destroy other people's property, people that has no identity. We don't know who is these people giving permission to come and break the property. We never collect housing money. We never collect the businessman money from Citizen Bank.
So
he said, ma'am, just stand aside and allow the people. And that's where it starts. Because I can't stand. I had to go. If they're going to break the property, they have to break that property and break it with everybody that's living there. So they're going to kill us right in that property there.
And so I want
because
to say,
you cannot leave. If we stay out, it's homeless we're going to become. So it makes no sense. It's best we go right there.
Right. And
go
so
ahead, Ms. Scarlett.
I want to say to you and to the villagers in Mocha Arcadia that we will continue to stand by your side. We will continue to keep watch. And I want to thank the villagers who came out in support and all the other persons who came from different areas when they saw the live broadcast and they came out there in support. And I think it's when they saw all those persons coming, not I think, it's when they saw the persons coming, they started retrieving and hustling to get away. But we will continue to watch. We will continue to keep watch. The women will stand up there for the rights of other women because this is injustice that is being meted out to innocent people. And if it means that we all have to and to go into other homes, we will go there and let them come and break their homes with us inside. because this is high-class wickedness. Look what you're seeing there. Residents' homes are being broken and their furniture, their bed, everything is left to the weather. Now, who is going to compensate these people for this kind of damage when their furnishing is damaged? Who will compensate them for that? Huh? We here and the president jumping around the place giving out national award. He can't give national award to citizens of this country, but he giving national award to other people and bouncing himself around the place. And this is what he's doing here, sending his people to destroy poor people's living, poor people's livelihood. I mean, how much more can we talk about this? And I want to say to citizens across this country and to our friends in the diaspora, it is alarming that we're not hearing anything from the guardians of democracy. We're not hearing anything from all the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever ambassadors. We're not hearing their voices now. We're not hearing human rights. We're not hearing all these people who had a lot of talks to talk about riggers and whatever and whatever and whatever. We're not hearing them when injustices is being meted out to poor people. But I can tell you, as a Guyanese citizen, I will continue to stand up and fight for the people of Guyana who ain't got a voice. I will stand up for the women who people feel that they can take advantage of. And we, as the opposition, we will continue to stand for our people, whether they live in Moko, or they live in Berbice, or they live in Essequibo, or wherever they're living. We will stand up and fight for them. Yes, Siobhan. I think we're having some hitches here and there because she's way out there and all the disruptions that they would have caused there. But of course, we had to hold them there yesterday. We had to have had that standoff with them because we couldn't allow Ministry of Housing to break any more home. You notice what they did today? Today, they didn't come from the front. They came from the back today. And they were attempting to break homes. And you notice the police came today in their riot apparels or their riot gears because they're looking for a showdown. Now, the people of Moko were not interfering with the police. Those people were not interfering with the police. So I don't know why police come with riot gears today. But I can understand what is happening with the poor, those young constables that we have there, and some sergeants and some inspectors and so on. We can understand what is happening with them. The instructions are being passed down, and they have to obey the instructions. You see, look them men boots what they got on. Look what's going on there. Huh? I hope some of them will get on the spot promotion. I hope we can give them on the spot promotion for being in all this mud and the sand and the rain and so on. I'm hoping that they can get on the spot promotion. You know, this is crazy. This is greed. And that's what the PPP are about. They are greedy. The more they get, the more they want. And they would go to every extreme or any extreme they seem to want to go to be able to acquire more land and to have a better economic status over persons who they feel should not be there and should not be living in areas where they think has the possibility or the potential to bloom. You know, it's disgusting when we talk about Guyana being the 5th fastest country with an economy growing. And this is what is happening to our people. It is a shame to know that we keep talking about Guyana, the new Dubai of the Caribbean. And look what is happening here. People are living in poverty and it's increasing every day. It is a shame. I don't know how Irfan Ali and Priya Manik Chand and them, I don't know how they could stand up at forums to speak when people in this country are suffering. We have oil money and the masses are not enjoying the sweet of the oil money. We hadn't oil money when the coalition was in office, but look how much was done by the coalition. They couldn't do everything in 3 years, but look how much was done in areas where there was no water, no electricity, no internet connectivity. They got that. The people got it there. Now we got oil, and this can't happen. People are being displaced left, right, and center. You're coming to break down their homes. And look what they did. Yesterday, they waited for a certain time when they recognized that persons are off at work and only a few persons are in the area. Then is when they came to break down the homes. They operate like real thieves and bandits. That's how bandits operate. And the actions of these officials a replica of the actions of thieves. They come to steal, to destroy, and to make people uncomfortable. And we will not allow that. Chevron, you were going to say something else? I'm not sure. Maybe Chevron seems to be having
Yes, Miss Carlita. From the beginning in 2021, after Minister Kroll came and visited us, we sent a letter to the president office. We sent a letter. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you now. We're not hearing anything from you, Chevron. Maybe you might want to log out and log in.
Okay, Miss Carlita.
Just log out and come in again. Yes. So these are the operators there who are operating that machine. You know, they are behaving as if they don't have families. They don't have sisters. They don't have a mother. They don't have nieces. They don't have daughters. That's how they're behaving, you know. And if you look at some of those men, they can hardly speak English. So we get the impression that they're using some of these nationals who are Venezuelans to do the kinds of foolishness that is happening here. But let me say to you, those homes that remain in that area, you are not going to break them down like that. You're going to have to fully compensate the people before they walk out of those homes, before they move their things. Look, you see where people live in? Look, people living here, you know. And these are some of the homes that are coming to break down. When you break the people's homes down, where are you putting them? And this is what we are saying. The negotiations should start from, well, this is what is going to happen. We are going to relocate you, but we are going to give you time to start building, or if you can find somewhere to rent, we're going to give you time to do that while we do what we have to do. But we're not hearing these kinds of things happening. You just want to push anything in the people's hand. If some residents take $5 million, you can't rate everybody the same way, because if you look at where Miss Eastman is living, it's worth, like we heard, more than $5 million. So you just can't push anything into her hand. Yesterday, this was one of the homes that was broken down. We saw the man's gas bottle being tucked under the mud, pitched away the stove that side. I mean, these guys are heartless who are operating these machines. And like I told them yesterday, I'm going to pray for them and I'm going to ask God to forgive them. But while He's forgiving them, they must remember the kind of hardship that they brought on poor, innocent people who are trying to make a living. Chevron, we can pull you in now. It is amazing. You're bringing on there. She's coming on. Chevron, can you hear us now? Guyana could never be a real place. This could never be a real place. And I'm hoping that Minister Manik Chand is watching what is happening here and that she's
Yes,
going to
Miss
be
Carlita.
she's going to provide
Are you hearing me?
counselors. Yes, we're hearing you. Just in a minute. I'm hoping that she is going to provide counselors for these innocent children who have been traumatized. I hope she's watching.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you now, Chevron. You can go ahead.
Yes. Are you hearing me now?
Yeah. Yeah, we seem to be having some problems there. Like I was saying, these children are traumatized. You're seeing a big
Okay,
machine
I
just.
was saying that from in 2021, when Minister Kroll
Yes, we seem to be having some issues there. But like I'm saying, I'm hoping that Minister Manik Chand is watching and she's seeing what is happening there. And we have hundreds of children who live in this area, hundreds of children who live in this area who are going to school. I'm hoping that counseling is going to be provided for those children who were traumatized yesterday, who have been traumatized the days before, and who were traumatized today, because I learned that many, many parents did not send their children out to school today. Why are we doing this to our people? Why are we doing this to our people? When the prime minister and all of them come to Mocha, chase them out. Tell them don't come to give you 2 pints of rice and 2 pints of oil and some packet of flour and a sack of rice and the kind of craziness. Chase them when they come. Just last week, I was way down in North Barnwell, and we saw there where the people there were flooded out by this corrupt government. It's not rainwater flooding, black water flooded people out, killing their livestock. And you're talking about we care, and you're talking about one Guyana. For who? The three F's, not the masses of the people. You see what is happening there? This is what is happening there today. This is what happened there this afternoon. And it's disgusting. Very, very disgusting. Very, very disgusting. And like I said, we will continue to keep watch. We will continue to stand in support with those people from Mocha. And we are going to ensure that the kind of nonsense will not happen. So you see, they did not come through the main road there to Mocha. That Cane View Avenue, they did not come through there. They came from the side where the road is going to be built. You're seeing that there? That's where they come through now today. They're coming through there from the back so that they can start to dismantle and demolish the people's home. It's disgusting. It's a shame. And some of us want to say that we are religious people. Religious where? Conveniently religious. Huh? Because God or Allah or Ram or Sita or whoever it is, Jah, would never allow these kinds of wickedness to be meted out to his people. This is greed. This is demonic. Let me say that. This is no longer a country where we talk about democracy. This is greed and hunger for land and power. This is what we're seeing here. And it's coming from a bunch of heartless. Siobhan, can we have you in there now? Siobhan, you need to unmute. I am not sure what's happening with Siobhan.
Yes,
Because
are
we're
you
not.
hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you.
Miss Carletta?
We're hearing you.
Okay, are you hearing me now?
Mm-hmm. We're hearing you loud and clear.
Are you hearing me?
We're hearing you loud and clear.
Okay. I was saying that I was saying that 2021 we sent out letters to the president office, to the ministry of welfare. Okay, we sent out letters to the president office, we sent out letters to housing. Yes, we sent out letters to the welfare, and we haven't get no response until now. Why? If this government is for one and for all that they're stating is for one and clear transparency, where is it?
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Where is because they never respond to us. Ali never come to Maka and say, okay, this is the issue and this is how he's going to resolve it. This is the resolution to it. He never come. Why? If he is all Guyanese president, why why he haven't why he hasn't come as yet and show his face and said, this is it, Maka residents, View resident, this is the resolution. He never come
Mhm, mhm.
to Maka and say, well,
Where
ABC, nothing.
where is the prime minister? Maybe he doesn't have a voice. He can't speak. Where is the prime minister? Why you can't reach down there as yet? Where is Kwame McCoy? Where is the president? How come the president can't reach there as yet? Maybe he's still entertaining Ralph Gonzalez, so he can't come there as yet. But these are your people. But you know what? They're going to come later in 2023. They're going to come in 2024 to talk to you and to soften you because they know later on is elections. When they come to your areas, chase them, people. Chase them out. Don't listen to them then, because if you couldn't do it for me in 2020 and in 2021 and in 2022, don't come to do it for me in 2023 and 2020, in the latter part of 2024. I don't want to hear from you then. If you can't care for me in the early days, you can't care for me in the later days. It's wickedness to the highest extent. The same thing they're doing in Maka, the same thing they're doing in Georgetown, except in Georgetown, it's a little different, where they're making Georgetown now the garbage city. Wickedness. And if you think you're doing the mayor and his councillors something, you're not doing them anything. You're doing it to yourselves, because the people in Georgetown will continue not to vote for you. Continue your madness. If you see Georgetown as it is right now, you drive down North Road, it's stink and dirty. Everywhere around Georgetown, you go, you see heaps of garbage. All that is happening here, Mr. President, it's a reflection of who you are. Stink and dirty. That's who you are. Because if you were a man of your word and you were a man who stand up to Muslim principles and stand up to Christian principles and stand up as a man to morality and human dignity and a man of integrity, then you will instruct that the mayor and city council be allowed to carry out their functions and that we don't have a city that looks the way it is looking. Nonsense. Wicked. Mischievous. Demonic. Those are some of the terms that we have to label you as, because that's what your government is portraying. That is what the officials who work under your government, they're portraying. Wickedness to the highest extent. How can you allow people to go to sleep in peace when they have to be listening for every little noise because they're thinking that you're going to send folks to break their homes down? This is wickedness in 2023 on the 4th day of January, a brand new year. This is what we are having. But I can tell you what, the people of Maka will not forgive you. They will not forget what you would have done to them. The children who are growing up in Maka, they will remember that their homes were broken down by the PPPC government, and they will never give you their support. Remember that. The people in Melanie who would have suffered when you went there and you shot that young man, and then you go after they protested and you shot at them, they will not forgive you for that. The Bostons on the Essequibo coast, they will not forgive you for what you would have done to their son, for the grief you would have caused them. Wickedness, and it's not going to last for long. It's not going to last for long. And to our viewers who are watching, we thank you so much for watching. Continue to watch with us. Continue to pray for our people, because we will stand together. And if we have to die, we are going to die together. You know, you got so much monies to put into cricket carnival. You got so much monies to put into all kinds of nonsense, and to compensate this young woman for what she would have worked hard, continues to work hard for to put up, and you don't want to compensate her for it, but you want to displace her, you want to remove her, and you don't want to compensate her. And I see them, if you see the anger and the vengeance with which they broke that bridge down. But one of the things we noticed is that there was a Banks DIH sign up there. The operator took his time to pull that up, and then he swung the machine and he placed it very nicely down on the ground. He didn't break that up. The vengeance and the anger and the ignorance with which he broke the woman's concrete there, he didn't break that bank sign. He put it down very gently. So you're saying that your eyes passed some people, but your eyes didn't pass other people. But let me remind all of you, from the CEO right down, Mr. Aaron and all of you, remember you got families. And it's only once you can be a CEO, but after then you're a regular Guyanese citizen. So once a CEO, twice an ordinary citizen. Mr. Aaron, the same thing for you. The ministers there, the same thing for you. You're going to be ministers all the days of your life. Remember that. When you are going up and you ignore the people who are below you, when you're coming down, those are the same people you are going to meet. Remember that always. And the Guyanese people are the people who have a say in how long you remain there. Wickedness doesn't last for long. You may seem to be prospering for some time, or you may prosper for some time, but the day will come. The day will come when you would wonder, is what do? Is what happened to me? Why all of these tribulations are meeting me? Sometimes things don't happen to us, it passed down. To you. And so let me say good night to MP Natasha Singh Lewis. And I think we have MP Nima Flu there too. And so many other of our MPs who are watching. And all of you, our viewers who took time off to watch with us tonight. We thank you for always being here. Miss Eastman, I know that we would have had some issues with her. She's off. I want to thank her for making herself available this evening to talk with us so that we get a clear picture of exactly what is happening and not what we are reading in some of them, coming from some of the media, the print media, and what is on this media house and that media house. That what she said there to us is exactly what happened. There was a discussion. The discussion broke down halfway because she kept insisting that this is what I cannot accept what you're offering me, because when I weigh the two, it doesn't balance. When I look at what has happened with cost of living, when I look at inflation, it is not balancing off, and it's unfair for you to want to remove me at this time, to put me somewhere else when you are not paying for my downtime. And that's only being fair. That is only being fair. Imagine some people ain't lose nothing, but they got relief. They got cash grants. They got this. They got that. And they didn't lose anything. And people who are losing, you are not prepared to compensate them. Wickedness to the highest extent. Wickedness to the highest extent. So, folks, let me say to you, we will continue to watch. We will continue to pray. We will continue to stand as one people, one nation, with one destiny, because Guyana belongs to all of us. We will continue to watch with the people of Mocha. We will continue to watch with citizens everywhere where injustices is being meted out to them. And we will alert our folks in the word and let everybody understand what is happening here. Yes, we have returned to the days where we have the slave masters, where the people decide that they want to oppress people. Those are the days we have returned to. And this all happens every time the PPP come around. Every time they come around, we have these kinds of issues. For 30 years, some of those people have been occupying those lands. You didn't want them to remove. You didn't know that this land would have been this. You didn't know that you want to put roads. You didn't know all these things. 30 years. And after 30 years, you want to just bulldoze them off of the land. It's not right. It's not fair. It's not good, because you don't treat other people in other areas that way. So don't treat the people in Mocha that way, because you recognize that the people in Mocha don't vote for you. We are all Guyanese, and you took the oath to represent and to be of service to all of Guyana. But you have decided that you're having a one Guyana. You don't want all of Guyana. You want a one Guyana. Well, we might be happy for you to tell us what your one Guyana consists of. Who make up your one Guyana? This is all we have at this time on advancing the cause. I want to remind you folks that COVID is on the rise again. So it might be a good thing for us to start putting on our mask every time we go out. We're going through a rainy patch at this time, and so lots and lots of things are coming up. The garbage in the city, the fumes coming up, children are inhaling that, adults are inhaling that, and you're coming down with all kinds of illnesses, rashes on people's skin, and so on. So let me say to you, keep wearing your mask, sanitize as often as possible, and stay away from crowded areas. But of course, when we have to stand like this in crisis, in times of crisis, I'm going to advise that we wear our mask and we have our hand sanitizers with us so that we can sanitize. Take care. Be careful on the road during the weekend gone. So take care. Be good Guyanese citizens. And let's remember, we're not one Guyana. We're one people, one nation, one destiny. Good night. See you next time. Same time for more